going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to The Drop, which is a weekly series right here on my YouTube channel every single Monday, where I go through the top video game releases of the week and let you guys know what new games are coming out, just in case you were in the market to pick up a new game to play on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or wherever you might tend to spend your time gaming. But this week we have a pretty big release from the guys that made Borderlands. We have another free game coming out as a PlayStation Plus game for May, which I thought was at least worth mentioning, and then a couple of games that are switching to different systems, whether it be Xbox to PlayStation 4 or PC to PlayStation, etc. We'll talk about those for a minute, but without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So, kicking things off, we have Battleborn coming to us from Gearbox Studios, which they are most famously known for the Borderlands franchise, which is now world famous. It's already got 3 entries. Borderlands 3 is coming out sometime, probably by the end of the year, or early in 2017, I would guess the latter, but we'll talk about that in a minute. What is Battleborn? It's pretty much where the last star is being attacked by a mysterious evil, and this band of badass heroes has to try and save it. So there are 25 of these badass heroes, each with different kinds of abilities and different kinds of weapons that lends themselves to different kinds of gameplay to keep things fresh while you're playing. So throughout the game, there are 3 different modes in 5 vs 5 multiplayer, including Incursion, which is where you defend your own base against AI while also trying to destroy the opposing team's base. Then you have Capture, which is a mixture of team deathmatch and domination. And then you have Meltdown, which for me is the most interesting, and it's pretty much where you defend your minions as they all march to an incinerator at the center of the map, and your team gets a point for each of the minions that throws itself into the incinerator. And needless to say, if the opposing team kills your minion, you don't get any points for it, so you're just trying to kind of complete the objective and defend your minions while everyone else is attacking them. So as I said, Battleborn is a first-person MOBA, and massive online battle arena players tend to have a niche. They choose 1 or 2 characters that really complement their playstyle, and then they stick to those without really branching out that much and just get good with those, so to speak. However, within Battleborn, there is this Helix system, which allows you to level up each character from level 1 to 10 and experience everything that character has to offer in a single multiplayer match, meaning that literally, if you wanted to test out every single of the 25 characters, you could play 25 multiplayer matches, choose a different character for each of those matches, and you would literally see what each character had to offer in the realm of abilities and weapons and all that good stuff, and you could either choose which character complements you best and play it like a regular MOBA, or you could actually test out new characters every time you played and keep things fresh. It just depends on how you want to play. Now, alongside this Helix system is a character ranking system, which is pretty much your standard leveling system, and it will definitely give a little bit of prestige to those that put a lot of time into the game. So pretty much you have your character rank system and your Helix system, which caters to both those that are going to spend a ton of time in the game and those that might just play it every now and again but still want to have a good time playing it. I feel like that's a pretty good balance all in all. Now that all that's out of the way, let's talk about what I actually think about Battleborn. Not necessarily as far as the game goes. I did play the beta. It's not really my thing because I'm not really into these MOBA kind of games. However, I like what Battleborn actually is because, by all means, Gearbox could have just went out and made Borderlands 3 right off the bat, or even made Borderlands the pre-sequel 2 or whatever they would have done, you know, the little quirky title. They could have made a ton of money off of this because Borderlands is a very popular IP with pretty much everyone in the gaming industry. However, they didn't do that. They branched out and tried a first-person MOBA that still has a similar art style, but it definitely has a lot of creativity in it, and that's what really struck me, is the amount of creativity in Battleborn. And for me, that proved that Gearbox wasn't just in it for the money. They weren't just in the gaming industry to make tons of money off of the Borderlands IP. They wanted to branch out now and try something new and try something that was creative, and I feel like that is an awesome thing, and I was kind of worried that they were starting to stray from that side of the gaming industry, so it's nice to see that they're still right on the straight and narrow. So next up, we have Tabletop Racing World Tour coming to the PlayStation 4 as a PlayStation Plus title for the entire month of May, meaning that you, if you have a PlayStation 4 with an active PlayStation Plus subscription, can actually play this game for free, which is something I always love to see, and it just increases the amount of people that are going to be playing the game on day one and make that community more lively than it ever could have been if it had just launched solo without the PlayStation Plus incentive. Now, this is literally a miniature racer, which means there are giant champagne bottles, giant desk lamps. For some reason, this just strikes my fancy. I like that kind of perspective. Now, within the game, though, there are 6 different modes and more than 90 challenges to complete, and the tracks are 20 in number, and they're spread across 5 different themes with 4 tracks per theme. There's a Breaking Bad inspired theme, there's a Back to the 80s theme, and pretty much everything in between. There's a lot of variety and creativity within this game, and I'm pretty excited to see what it has to offer because I'm definitely going to be trying it out since, again, it is free with PlayStation Plus. Now, there are 12 cars within the game. However, those 12 cars are inspired by either real-life things or perhaps my favorite, the Breaking's Bad, which Breaking's Bad. I like puns. Puns are my kind of thing. But it's inspired by Breaking Bad. So needless to say, these guys are fans of Walter White. I'm a fan of Walter White, and the game itself looks to be pretty cool. And it is free with PlayStation Plus, like I've mentioned for the third time now, so why not give it a shot? It looks like a fun little experience, especially if you're into arcade-style racers. Now, a couple of games are hopping the water, coming to different platforms, so to speak, and Superhot is coming to the Xbox One, which was one of my favorite games earlier in the year on PC. I streamed the majority of it on Twitch, but it's pretty much where time only moves when you do, and it combines that element with elements of a first-person shooter, and overall it's a very simple game, but it is also very complex and very, very entertaining. I would definitely recommend checking that one out. Now next up we have Shadow Complex Remastered coming to the PlayStation 4 from the PC, and the original was released in 2009 I believe on the Xbox 360, but I really did enjoy this game. I played the remastered version earlier this year on the PC, and I'd have to say that I really did enjoy the game, and it's not because the story is complex, it's not because I loved the gameplay or anything like that, but the gameplay is simple enough, and it's also addictive enough that it still draws you in. The story is simple enough, yet it's also complex enough to keep you interested. I like the balance that Shadow Complex Remastered has going on, so if you're looking for a platform adventure style game, you should definitely check out Shadow Complex Remastered. I would rate it probably an 8.5 out of 10. Now for those that are looking for a classic arcade fighting game, because I know there are so many of you out there, King of Fighters 2000 is coming to the PlayStation 4 with full trophy support, so if you're interested in that, you can check it out. It's going to be under the PS2 Classic section of the PlayStation Network. So there you guys have it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and leave me a comment saying what games you might be picking up this week. And of course, share this video so that more people can find my channel. And of course, if you haven't seen any of my other content, I do upload new stuff like 3 or 4 days a week depending on the week, just in case you were interested in checking some of that stuff out. If you like what you see, drop me a subscribe. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.